Today we're taking a closer look at the Ferrari 275 GTB from 1964, reproduced in 1/64 scale by Centauria. Right from the start, even inside the display case, you can already see how much this model relies on proportions rather than aggressive detailing. The yellow finish immediately draws attention, but it's really the shape that defines it. In this video, we'll go through the full unboxing, details, and how this casting translates such a classic Ferrari into scale form. The model comes inside a clear display case mounted on a black base, with the name Ferrari 275 GTB 1964 clearly printed. Rotating the case, you can already appreciate how balanced the design is from every angle. Even through the plastic, the long hood and compact rear proportions are very evident. The presentation is simple but effective, and it keeps the focus entirely on the model itself. Once the case is opened and the model is freed from the base, it becomes much more interesting to observe. Removing the screw and separating it from the platform gives you that first real in-hand impression. It feels light, but visually very consistent. At this point, you start noticing how clean the surfaces are, without unnecessary elements, which really suits this kind of classic design. Looking at the model up close, the side profile is definitely the highlight. That long front section, the subtle curvature of the roof, and the smooth transition into the rear all work together perfectly. The wheels are simple and period correct, not oversized, not too detailed, just right for the overall balance. Even the chrome accents are used carefully, adding contrast without overpowering the body. Moving into the rear and side details, you can see the dual exhaust setup and the compact tail design. Everything feels tight and controlled, with no exaggerated features. The body lines remain soft but defined, and that's exactly what gives this model its presence. It's one of those castings where nothing is screaming for attention, but everything works together. At the front, the headlights and grille area are clean and well integrated into the body. There's no over-detailing here, just enough to capture the identity of the car. Even the wheel details, when seen up close, match the overall philosophy of the model. And from above, you really start to appreciate how smooth and uninterrupted the surfaces are. Seeing the model from multiple angles in sequence really reinforces how consistent it is. There are no weak spots in the design, no angle where it feels off. When placed into the diorama parking lot, it immediately blends in, but at the same time stands out because of its color and proportions. It's a very natural presence, not forced, not exaggerated. Positioning it within the parking space highlights how well it sits on the surface. The stance is correct, the ride height feels realistic, and the alignment is clean. Even surrounded by other models, it keeps its identity. That's usually a sign of a well-balanced casting, especially when dealing with classic cars like this. Moving into the indoor garage scene, the model takes on a slightly different character. Under controlled lighting and in a more structured environment, the reflections and shapes become more noticeable. It almost feels like a small showroom presentation, where the design can be appreciated without distractions. The simplicity of the model really works in this kind of setting. And back into the outdoor setup, with precise positioning, you get that final look at how this model behaves in a realistic context. This is not a flashy piece, but one that rewards attention over time. If you're into classic Ferrari design, this is definitely a model that makes sense in a collection. Now let's move on to the full 360-degree view and see it from every possible angle.